Okay, now this is the Measure S2 by fractal design, and we're gonna start by removing the side panel. Just easily accessible thumb screws on top here. Now this is tempered glass as well. It's pretty damn nice case. Like so. Pull it off to the side, I suppose. No. Ah, okay, there we go. Swings open, more or less. Now, my radiator will go on top here. We'll have the radiator on top here. That's my preferred configuration, as you get the pump centered below the radiator, because if the pump is above said radiator, you might get air into your pump. Okay, now this is pretty neat. You see this button right here? If you want to access the top part here, press it like so, and you lift it up, and it's a pop-up removable. So now you can access the top here for radiation mounting, which we will need to. It's a really clever solution. I've also taken the liberty of removing the black backplate with two thumb screws down here and here. And you can also have to want to remove this one, because this contains all of the accessories and screws and stuff for the rest of our case. Yeah, I'm gonna need a screwdriver. Give me a minute. Right, these are the accessory box contents. This is for some HDDs. I'm probably gonna have to mount this hard drive into one of those. For the slots for 3 of them. And there are proper cable grommets here as well. These are for the fans and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, these are all the fan hub. That's a fan hub. Yeah. And our power supply will be going underneath here. I do prefer cases with the power supply shrouds. Makes it far easier and look more cleaner. This is to hang my ring light on when I want to do like videos filming like this with my both two hands occupied. Let's continue, shall we? Motherboard is gonna go in. Okay, there's one thing I forgot to show you. To put in the HDD, this is a 3.5 inch, I think. God, I hate the Imperial system, inches and stuff. We use centimeters, for fuck's sake. In either case, sorry for that rant, but yeah, I'm gonna have to line up those holes and find the proper screws for them. It's the not power supply screw, drive screw, motherboard reservoir, HDD dampener. Probably gonna have to use a washer. Yes. Okay, the screws you're gonna need for to assemble a 3.5 inch drive are these guys. Let's see, focus. Focus, please. Thank you. These screws with the not fully hinged one, and these dampeners. I've already taken the liberty of assembling one, because you're gonna have to do it from the side here. I'm gonna screw it in with those dampeners in between. Okay, screws are installed. Now let's pop it back in here. Just slot it in those two holes underneath, and then it's gonna pop right here. Please focus on the right place. I'm gonna have to screw in the thumb screw at the top here. Then, bim bada boom. Now you can access SATA cables and puffs like that on this side, which is actually pretty clever. Makes it quite accessible. I like this case. I like it a lot so far. Now you see these holes right here. That one, there, over here, and here, and here. There should be one in the middle too, I think, but I'm slightly uncertain. Those are gonna match up with these standoff screws over here. Now, depending on your motherboard, this is a normal ATX size motherboard. If you're running a mini ATX, then you're probably only gonna need less screws and stuff like that, so keep that in mind. It's for ATX, micro ATX, and mini ITX motherboards. Mini ITX are the smallest ones. So yeah, those are the 3 types of motherboard this case supports. Now, let's pop this in, line up the standoffs, and I will catch you afterward. I'll gonna have to use both hands and stuff. And radiator is going on top here. So basically, I'm gonna have a push-pull configuration more or less. You can have a pull from here, exhaust fan over here. Also, heat rises from the graphics card and stuff like that through the radiator and out. So it's going to be pressure this way, out that way, and out that way. It will create some certain negative pressure inside. And that's something that might be a bad thing because it tends to accumulate more dust if you have too much negative pressure. But it shall be very good for airflow and stuff like that. Yeah, let's go. Now, I won't lie, this is probably one of the trickiest part, to line up the motherboard properly with the AIO and stuff already installed. Just gotta... Okay. Let's see, can I put this away over here? For now, at least. See if the standoffs align. Now these is probably the snuggest part of the build, except for some of the cable management. Okay, it actually has popped into place. Surprised. Yeah, these guys. Motherboard and reservoir bolts. Okay, motherboard is in, lined up with all the standoff bolts here and up here and stuff. Now, I can see there's not going to be enough clearance to put this entire radiator in here because the clearance up here is very low. And also, a small tip, we're probably going to have to, this is the CPU power, not power supply, but you know, power, where the pins go, basically, where the cable power for the CPU go. And it going through this growlet here. Yeah, we're gonna have to connect those cables before continuing that one, because otherwise, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time fitting it. But yeah, all of the standoffs are aligned. Screw in that screw, there, there, there. Yeah, all of the holes that are here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna screw them in. Okay then. Any of you guys know any bad dad jokes? Well, first that comes to my mind is, what's the difference between a pregnant woman and a light bulb? You can't unscrew, well you can unscrew a light bulb, basically. It's a lousy ass joke, but I laughed as fuck. I laughed out loud when I first heard it. Now when you screw these bolts in, do be careful not to over tighten them. These are small screws, very small screws, and they're easily destroyed if you tighten it too hard and if you destroy the washers and stuff. And you can even, in the worst case scenario, damage your motherboard. But do make it tight, just... you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Tight but not too tight. That's what she said. Man, am I... that's a terrible joke. Oh my god. Are you still here? Still watching? Okay. That's good. Despite my very good fucking piece of shit. Bad jokes. Yeah. This shit happens. This shit happens. I dropped a screw. I'm gonna have to wiggle it out. But I wanna secure the motherboard before I do. Ugh. Satan nedrukt. Oh my god. Yeah, this is a top left corner screw. It's the one that's most snug and tightly inaccessible. Huh. I actually made it. There we go. Excellent. You know, I'm a big fan of Lego. I like building Legos. And I kind of get this feeling from it. I kind of get the same feeling from building this computer. is in. Is it in? That's also what she said, isn't it? I gotta stop with those horrible jokes. Okay, snug enough. Now, oh yeah, there's one over here as well. And I'm gonna have to get to work soon. Damn it, how time flies by when you're having fun. Shit. Bare mannskitt. Kom igjen da. Faen altså. Der ja. Takk skal du ha. Sorry. Speaking to myself in Norwegian. Don't throw too many Norwegians viewers watching this, because my words are quite foul-mouthed in Norwegian. In my mother's tongue. The language can be quite foul. It's basically a necessity. You know, this is the part where this precision kit comes in handy. In particular, this part. Oh, come on, dead bite. Come on. Okay, this is even. There we go. Hallelujah. I'm sweating. Sweating of excitement. An excrement. No excrement. Yeah. Okay, all screws are in place. Excellent. Radiator time. Okay, before we continue with the radiator, I'm gonna have to pull out the CPU cable that comes along with this power supply to you know, access this before. Oh. Good morning. I'm shooting this video in between my work shifts this weekend. 12-hour shifts, and well, yeah, as you can see, I'm a little bit tired, but I'm excited to continue. Now though, I think we're gonna do the power supply mountation. This is actually a multiple channel power supply. You can run multiple channels if you want but this switch, and it's fully modular, as you guys can see by these guys. You can put the power connectors of your SATA peripherals, PCIe, CPU, whatever you want and stuff like that. That's what a modular power supply looks like. It's rather huge, if I might say so. So yeah, I'm gonna mount this one, mount the power supply, and begin routing the cables for our CPU in particular before mounting the radiator. And yeah, I will show you the radiator mounting when we get there. Okay? First, power supply. Just gonna put it somewhere so that I don't drop it. Right, so as you guys can see, the first thing you want to do is remove this, what's it called in English? It's a bracket that you mount to your GSU before putting it inside the case itself. I'll show you what I'm on about. Two very accessible thumb screws. Sorry about the noise. My budgies are quite active at the moment. God damn it. Shut up. You're ruining the audio. Or rather, should I say, improving it. That's for you to decide, not me. Yeah, now let's see here. When I put the bracket on the power supply, you're gonna line up a certain set of holes. So here is the power supply, and here is the holes. That's a screw hole, there, there, and there. Gonna line that up like so. Now the holes on the power supply bracket hits the holes for the screws. That's what she said. Okay, I'll stop with those jokes. God, they're cringy. Yeah. So now I'm gonna screw them into place and then put the power supply in. Okay, bracket is installed. By the way, if you look inside the case, there is the USB 3. USB 3 cable and the headers and stuff for, not headers, but cables for the HDD and power on switch and stuff like that for the rest of the cabinet. Those are gonna have its own growl lips through here. Can run them through here, and then plug them in along this side, because you see there are holes of which you can route the cables through. Probably easier to do that before making it mounting the power supply. And I'm also gonna change my mind. I'm gonna insert the CPU power cable first. Focus, please. Thank you. And then I'm gonna mount the radiator, and then I'll mount this, the power supply. That's at least the plan. Let's get to it. Here is the. Do you guys see? Yeah. This is the CPU power cable. This end does go into your motherboard, and this end goes into your power supply. You can see it by the single hinge and double hinge.